All right. So thank you guys so much for being on. I was telling them earlier that our internet is wonky in my office. So we're going to be hanging out with the Charlie girl in our living room. So there are slides that go along with this, although I like to be able to see you guys. So I'm going to say if you want to look at those slides, you are welcome to, but I'm not going to have them up. I'm just going to kind of do it this way. So anyways, thank you guys so much for being on. I know it's a late night and I appreciate you guys spending some time with us tonight. So anyways, I wanted to share a little bit about the leadership retreat that I was able to go on to and talk just a little bit about the live events, because if you've been to a live event with Beachbody, you get it. Like you get the energy and the excitement that goes along with it. And I think it's really hard to go to a live event and not change your business in some way. And so I just this is my little plug of the summit, because I know we have one more day where you can get the non-transferable, non-refundable $145 ticket. And if you purchase that ticket by the end of the day tomorrow, you are eligible to earn $200 travel money if you hit Success Club in this month, next month, and December. So just a little plug for that. That's all I'm going to say about Summit. But tomorrow by the end of the day would be the day that you'd want to be purchasing that ticket by. Also, not sure if you saw this in our Spirit and Spunk Tribe, but I just got the Diamond Insider. So once you hit Diamond, you get this email kind of to know about what's coming up in the next month before everybody else gets their Coach Monthly email. And it said that there is $20 off all of the packs starting on November 1st, which is nuts. So that means that like the all access $160 pack is actually going to be $140 only. 2B Mindset Challenge pack, which is usually $180, is going to be $160. And so it's just like my mind is blown. I've already started reaching out to women today and been like, hey, I know you were talking 2 months ago about it being, hard to afford. Would $20 off, change your mind? So definitely, even though it's not until November, start reaching out to people now and be like, hey, I'm thinking about you. I know you said that, money was an issue then. Would this change your mind? So definitely reach out to those people. Okay, so let's go ahead and chat about some of the things, the takeaways from Summit. And yeah, Lauren, that is so cool. For sure. They haven't done $20 off since basically they started doing all access. They used to do $20 off way back in the day when you just bought one program, but they haven't done it in a long time. So anyways, with leadership, just a little bit, because I know a lot of people were kind of asking me like, how did you qualify? Like, can I do this? And yes, every single one of you guys could qualify for leadership by next year. Okay, so the requirement is that you are a five-star diamond team by, I think it's like the end of August, basically. So we had to be it by August. Next year's is not in Vegas. It's actually in Scottsdale, Arizona. And I guess they've gone there before because everybody in the crowd was so pumped that it was in Scottsdale. It's at some like Princess Resort, or I don't think it was like, I know Princess was in the name. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it seemed really beautiful and awesome. And I'm not a Vegas person, so I'm super pumped about going to Scottsdale. For me, it seemed completely out of reach. Like even like 2 years ago, it seemed really, really out of reach. But once you just take those little steps each day, it becomes much more attainable. So I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, there's no way that I could qualify for that next year. It is possible. You have to decide today that you're going to do it, but it's very, very possible. Okay, so a couple of my main takeaways that were a big focus at leadership. So one of them was us just becoming better at telling story. They had so many people talking about telling story and how to tell story. But honestly, I think if you guys go back and watch our last team call, which Lauren did, she gave so many great ideas of how to tell story, especially at the end of her call. So I don't think there's anything new to say about that besides go watch her call. But there's so much power in telling a story and the feelings in it and like the details of what happened and what you were thinking and what you were feeling in that moment. The second thing that they talked about was just the power in launching new programs. And so that is not something I'm going to talk about tonight, but our next team call on November 13th, I'm going to talk really in detail about how we're going to launch Transform 20 because it's something that we've never done as a team before. I got a lot of ideas from leadership. So this is kind of a two-part kind of team call. And we're going to talk about Transform 20. And maybe if it's not the program for you, it could be the program for someone who is in your niche or something like that. So we'll talk about how to launch all programs, specifically Transform 20 on our next team call. But tonight, what I really want to talk about, which was a huge focus at leadership, was just simplifying helping new coaches. So I'm going to talk from like, hey, someone who's interested or you know of someone that you would be a great coach, how to start that conversation on to kind of those initial first steps that you want a new coach to be taking so that they see success right away. So those conversations with potential coaches, I want to kind of start there. And how I want us to start thinking about having conversations with people who we just would really love to have on our team, or someone who's like, hey, what's this coaching thing that you do? I really want us to begin to slow down our conversations as much as possible. I was chatting with Paige, and I don't know if she's on this call, but I was chatting with her the other day, and she was looking at like kind of the rock stars on her team, the girls who are showing up and really seeing some success. And she goes, you know, she's like, I had like either a phone conversation or I really explained everything about what a new coach would do and what it would look like before they even signed up. And she goes, and you did that. She's like, I had probably 2 phone conversations with you before I showed up. She goes, I asked you a million questions. And she's like, and you explained everything to me to where when I signed up, I knew exactly what I was getting myself into. So I really want us to learn how to like slow down that conversation and just allow them to like see and hear your voice. So if they will hop on a call or a video call or something like that with you, take them up on that. Ask them. If they're not interested in that, that's fine. But ask them if they are interested in just hopping on a phone call with you. And then adding a little accountability. So I'll talk a little bit about this. I don't know if you guys have read the book. It's called Get Over Your Damn Self. But it's a really awesome book for network marketing. And I know that we have a very like fitness and nutrition focus, but there are, whenever you're bringing on new coaches, you do kind of have to have that network marketing mentality. And so one thing that she says in there a lot is this line, and I want you guys to write this down. It's if I, in the insert, and I'll talk to you about what you would insert, would you? So if I, would you? Okay, so if I send you something, would you, whatever. So how I have been having these conversations with people that I think would be really great on our team is I always start with a compliment, and that could be, you know, something that's coach related. It could be something you see on their Instagram. It could be something that you just like about them, something in their personality. So I might say like, I adore your spunky personality in your Instagram stories, or I love how you're always sharing healthy recipes, or I can tell that you really have a passion for helping others by what you share with about your students. So even if someone is like a teacher, like doesn't share fitness stuff, you know, you can find something to compliment them with. Just make sure that it's really genuine and that it is something that you actually mean. So you don't want to just give a blank compliment like, oh, I love your shoes. Like make sure it's something that's purposeful. And then tell them, like instill that belief in them. Like, I really think that you would be great at what I do. So I try not to say like, I think you'd be a great coach. Like, I just want them to know that like, I think you would be really good at what I do. I have personal experience with this, and I think that you would be awesome at this. And then I would say, have you ever considered it before? And if they say yes, then I would say, like, if I sent you, and we recorded a little 30-minute video this past weekend, and that has been phenomenal to send people because they can hear me talking, they can hear other coaches on the team talking, and we kind of shared our story, what are like kind of apprehensions that we had before we got started, the basics of how we make money and what a new coach does. And that's all that we shared on that video. But I would say something like, if I sent you a quick 30-minute video of me sharing my story and the details of coaching, would you check it out? Really simple. Or if you're doing a peek to coaching, or if one of if your mentor coach is doing a peek to coaching, you could say, if I included you in this 3-day peek into what I do, would you check it out? Okay. Send that, put it out there, let them decide whether they're interested in checking it out or not. And if you get a yes from that, then say like, awesome. When do you feel that you'd be able to watch it by? Okay, like kind of add some accountability. I think that a lot of times we'll be like, awesome, like I'll see you in there, or great, like glad you want to check out the video. But like have them give you a deadline of when they're going to watch it by. So I would say like, when do you feel you could have that watch by? I'd love to check in to hear one of the positives you took away from the video. Or if it's a peek into coaching, say, awesome. Do you think that you can watch it live, or when do you want to have them watched by? I'd love to hear what you liked about coaching. So you want to kind of like get them to give you like, oh, I can have it watched by Thursday, or I'll check them out this weekend, something like that, so that you can let them know, hey, I'm going to follow up with you and I'm going to check back in. And I want you to think about, what did you like about it, or what's a positive you took away from it, so that they're not just watching it just to like take it in, but they're watching it with that mentality of like, okay, Megan's going to check back in with me and I need to have a positive ready to share with her. And that's just a simple little thing. I would do that with my students all the time. Like I would be like, hey, we're going to watch this, 5-minute clip. I want you to take this away because we're going to talk about it whenever you get done watching it. If you give them something specific, then they'll have something that they can they're looking for, basically. They're not just taking in the information. Okay. So after that, then it is basically like the video, the peek, that gives them all the information that they need. Then you just need to be answering questions. Okay. So I'm going to switch into the fact that we had someone sign up and what we've done. So this is majorly what I took away from leadership. There was a couple of coaches. Some of them was, so Emily Favre, you've probably heard of her. She's been huge this year with having a lot of success. And then, oh man, it's going to kill me that I can't come up with her name. Ashley Molstead. So I took a lot of this from Ashley's talk that she did at leadership also, because both of those are like, I don't know, top 5 basically in our company right now. And so they are helping coaches really see success. And so I want to share with you just kind of some basics of what they are doing and keeping it super, super simple, which has been kind of the takeaway, I guess, from it was like, these coaches are not doing anything crazy big. What they're doing is really basic. And so maybe we're just overcomplicating things. Okay, so here are some things that I want us to start doing. So new coach actions. I want you to make sure that you're sending them something, a new coach welcome email, something within the first 24 hours of them signing up. Okay, most coaches sign up, or at least I signed up, and I was pumped. I was so excited to get started doing something. I just wanted someone to tell me what to do, basically. So give them something to do within the first 24 hours, even if it is literally like, send me a couple of details about yourself and a picture so that I can introduce you to the team. And that's the second thing I want us to make sure that you're doing, is introducing them to our Spirit and Spunk tribe, whether they are discount coaches, regular coaches, excited to work the business coaches. I don't care. I want you to introduce them to the Spirit and Spunk Tribe. And I want us to start, if someone introduces a coach, I need for you guys to comment, welcome. That's all you have to do. But we need to start getting in there and welcoming new coaches. It doesn't have to be every day, but I need you guys at least every other day, every 3 days, at least once a week. I want you to go into that team page and I want you to comment on every single new coach that gets introduced in there. Because I don't know if you guys, raise your hand if you remember being introduced as a new coach in the team page. And I don't know about you all, but I was in there and every single comment that someone made, I was in there and I was like, they're welcoming me. Oh my gosh, they're welcoming me. Oh my gosh, I belong. So imagine if that was you, and maybe this was you because we've gotten real lazy about this. Maybe it was you that you got literally 3 comments of 3 people welcoming you into this thing. Think about as a new coach how you're excited, but you are nervous as hell. And if you are not getting praised, that just instills that fear, and it makes you feel like, oh, maybe people aren't as excited as I thought they would be that I did this. Okay, so I am challenging you guys to go in there, and I don't want you to like it. Nobody cares about liking. I want you to comment. Welcome to our team. Welcome. Hey girl. Drop an emoji. I don't even care what you do, but I want you to comment something on every single new coach that gets introduced. Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox. That's my little soapbox. Had to do that. Okay, but I want you to introduce your new coaches. Even if they are discount coaches, by golly, they took that step to move forward and commit to their health and fitness goals just a little bit more. Okay. And then the third thing that I want us to do is I want us to help them earn a paycheck in their first 10 days. So I want either that first Thursday or that second Thursday that they are a coach, I want them to be earning a paycheck. I don't care if that paycheck is $14. I want them to earn a paycheck, because I don't know about you guys, but is anybody else? Raise your hand if you remember your first paycheck that you got. You best bet I was like, oh my gosh, I am loaded. I'm pretty sure it was literally $30. It was not anything crazy big, but I was like, I can do this, I can help people. And so there's something about that first income that is so oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. I love what I'm doing and I get to earn a little side income. So those are 3 things that I want you to do. Make sure that you send them a welcome email in the first 24 hours, that you introduce them to Spirit and Spunk Tribe within the first couple of days, okay? And that you help them earn their first paycheck, okay? All right, so you might be thinking, all right, Meg, that's cool. What in the world, how do I help them do that? What does that even look like? And I'm not looking at the chat. I'll look at it later, but it distracts the heck out of me to try to pay attention to the chat while I'm doing this. So, couple of new coach things. I want you to ask for either just a couple of tidbits or a photo of them, something that will help you introduce them to the Spirit and Spunk Tribe. Okay. If you already know them personally, great. You probably don't have to ask them for that. But in my new coach welcome email, and I will share this document with you guys, I just asked for 2 facts about them and a photo that they want me to use. Include how they can join Spirit and Spunk Tribe. I am trying to get them to add themselves. So if they're a discount coach and they don't want to add themselves, they don't have to. But that's going to be in my welcome email. So if they want to check it out, they can. How to contact you. I have started giving out my personal phone number because I want them to have a connection with me. And something is very, very personal about text message. And so I have been giving out my personal phone number to new coaches to say, hey, let me know what kind of coach you're wanting to be. Okay. And I have them text me what they're thinking about, if they want to be a discount coach, if they're wanting to work the business, kind of what their thoughts are. In that welcome email, let them know that you would love to do a one-on-one chat with them about kind of the actions of getting started as a new coach, but leave this up to them. Okay. Your time and your energy is very, very valuable. And so if they do not want a one-on-one chat with you, do not force them to do a one-on-one chat with you. But I don't know if she's on this call. She showed up to the other call. Is Christy on this call? I'm trying to think see if she is. Yay, Christy is. Okay, so I hadn't even sent Christy my one-on-one call, like my welcome email yet. And she had already messaged me and was like, hey, by the way, when can we do this one-on-one chat that you mentioned in the video? Like, so from my like peek into coaching, I mentioned that we do a one-on-one chat with our new coaches. Okay. Obviously, I was like, heck yeah, let's do this one-on-one call like today. Let's sign up and do this. Okay. If someone is excited, they're going to contact you and they're going to want to talk to you. Okay. There's no need to force it. That's going to be a waste of your time if you're constantly being like, oh, hey, by the way, do you want to do this? I want to get on the call with you. No, let them schedule that. Okay. And then just some basic steps that a new coach takes. I'm going to include this in a separate email. So I'm going to have an email, like kind of a 2-section one. One that's like really basic, like, hey, send me a couple of facts. Here's how you join my accountability group. Here's how you join our team page. Here's how you can contact me, those real basic things. And then in a separate one, I'm going to have just a couple of basic how to get started as a new coach. So I'm trying to move on. Okay, so here's kind of a couple of the tidbits that I've been taken away from Emily and Ashley. I keep forgetting her name, and Ashley. So in the welcome email, and I'm just going to read this to you guys because I feel like you could do this in text message, or you could do it in email, you could do it in Messenger, however you want to. But I want us to really just focus on the fact that, like, hey, as a new coach, your first action is to help people. It's so simple. What Ashley, like her wording in this was, you're going to help 3 people do what you just did. A great place to start is best friends and close family. Okay, so I'm going to say that again. If you didn't write that down, I want you to write it down. You're going to help 3 people do what you just did. So obviously they probably signed up with a challenge pack or something like that. So you're saying, like, you're just helping them do what you did. So they're going to do the program that you're doing. You're just going to help them get started. And then I'm going to have, here's some steps to get started. Make a list of 3 to 5 women who you'd love to do this with. One good thing to do is and I loved this. Ashley's idea was, she said, one good thing to do is to screenshot my results or anyone else's and send it to those best friends or close family and say, girl, I just signed up for this because look at those results. I'm so excited, but kind of nervous. Do you want to do this with me? Okay. So it kind of takes that, like, oh my gosh, like, I haven't gotten results myself that a new coach might feel. Where, like, are people even going to do this? No, like, they can take any of the results from the girls on our team, because if you're on our team, you've probably finished a program and you've probably seen some results with it. So I would be more than happy if Christy took a screenshot of my photo of my before and after, because I am proud of the results from Lift 4. I'm proud of my 2B mindset. I'm proud of when I did 21 Day Fix Extreme 3 years ago, and I want her to send it and be like, oh my gosh, look at these results. Like, I'm so pumped to do this, because if I get half of those, like, this is going to be awesome. Do you want to do this with me? Okay. And then in that email, I want to let them know, like, if they get stuck, I want them to text me. Like, if there is something that they get nervous about, I want them to know that they can come to me and be like, oh my gosh, this person just said this. I don't know how to respond. How do I respond? And then the last thing I have them do is to start thinking about their I'm a coach post, because I do think there is value in putting it out there on social media. But I first want them to be going to those people that are near and dear to them, and then think about their I'm a coach post. And then again, I say, if you want to set up a one-on-one call with me, let's do that. Okay. So I, once again, let them know, like, I'm here for you as long as I see you doing action. But I do say, when we chat, I'd love to get to know you a little bit more, know those first couple of conversations are going, tackle any conversations together you feel you're stuck with, and chat about some next steps. Because I want that conversation to be about action. Like, what have you done so far? Where are you going? Here's where we're headed next. Okay. So one cool thing that Ashley did was she did like took this conversation and she put it in text. And so I didn't know that you could do this, but you can like set up like, what are they called? Like in your keyboard, you can like set up automatic text messages. And Elena, I was telling Elena about this. She's like, oh yeah, I do that. Yeah, thank you. Shortcut. She's like, I do it for my hashtags. I was like, why aren't you telling me about this? So anyways, I guess the moral of that story is, if something you're doing is working, share it with the team so that we can all learn from it. Because I didn't know that that was possible. So anyways, you go into your settings, go to general, keyboard, and then text replacement. So here's what I've been doing is I included basically what I just stated in that email, and I just turned those into like little, like, I call them runners, basically a coach who's wanting to work the business. I call them a runner. There's like discount, walkers, runners. So runners are like, yeah, let's do this. Like, I want to help people right now. And then I just like take that, here's kind of your initial conversation. I put it in a quick text message so I don't have to type it out to everybody, and it's the same so that everybody's kind of getting the exact same information. And then I have a text message of like, how do you feel about that? Send me your first 3 names, because I want to like be in the trenches with them, and I want to always be holding those new coaches accountable to those actions, and for them to know that like I'm here for them, whatever they need. So I feel like I just word vomited like crazy all over you guys. So I'm going to go in the chat. If you guys have questions, let me know. Is there a way to check and make sure you're registered for Summit? I'm not so sure, Meg. You should have gotten an email of saying that you got registered. Are you talking about like back in the day? I would contact Coach Relations and they should be able to tell you if you're registered for Summit or not. Yeah. Okay. Taylor answered that. Sorry. Oh, also, I mentioned Ashley a lot. All of the like talks from leadership are on YouTube. So I'll include that in when I share this information and this recording. Yay. New coaches are making a list of 20 ladies to join us. That's awesome, Taylor. Incredible. Results to new challengers is a good idea for sure, Ashley. Yeah, definitely send mine, send your coaches, we have got a like album in the Spirit and Spunk Tribe that is just before and after photos of our team. And I specifically wanted people to put them in there for the use of they can be sent out. So the link to those talks. Yeah, Courtney, I will include Ashley's and I'm drawing a blank on names. It was 2 girls that did it. Help me out. Emily Favre, and then there was one other, but I don't remember who was with her. I can do that. Okay. Holly, yes. Thank you. Goodness, you guys are awesome. I'm been up since 3:30 this morning, so I'm still trying to. Okay. There you go. You guys are good. Okay. Any questions? All right. All right. I am pumped. I feel like we are in the right direction with onboarding new coaches and kind of creating some systems that will just hopefully help everything be a lot easier for everybody and simplify it as much as possible. Get them into those actions of talking with people, which is what we do, and making that I'm a coach post and putting it out there and making sure that it's quality. So I will share all of my resources once I get this recorded. And then, I know Cassidy, Charlie is loving life right now that I'm right there by her. So anyways, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your evening, and I will talk to you all later. Thank you so much for being on. See ya.